I live in Denmark. I found a substantial metal object in my backyard, measuring approximately 15 to 20 centimeters, 6 to 8 inches, in diameter. I refrain from handling it extensively, as it may potentially be an old mine. The object appears to be primarily composed of metal and is quite heavy. Additionally, there seems to be a plastic material surrounding the central edge. I also found another item nearby, but I am uncertain if the two are related. Any ideas what this thing is? It has enough resemblance to a German World War II teller mine. The circular protrusion in the middle strongly resembles the attachment point for a fuse, pressure plate, tilt rod, or other activating mechanism. There are contemporary designs that bear a stronger resemblance than the mine designs in use during World War II. On the Danish west coast, I just read up on some history, and according to this source, the Germans laid out around 1.5 million mines on the Danish west coast during the final years of World War II. The last minefield in Denmark was cleared in 2012. I also find it unlikely to be one, because no one would just lay a singular lone mine. They would be laid with others in a proper field. What do you think? I found this item at a thrift shop. The blades are exceptionally sharp, and the entire tool measures approximately 12 inches in length and 2 inches in width. Each blade ranges from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch in width. Constructed from cast aluminum and steel, the tool features a steel plate on the underside that moves up and down over very sharp, chisel-like blades. It appears to date back to the 1940s to 1970s and seems either rarely used or extremely well maintained. The design suggests it is intended to press down into a material, with the plate lifting as the blades penetrate. The style and aluminum handle lead me to believe it may be a kitchen implement, although I am uncertain of its specific purpose. Any idea what it could be? Bladed meat tenderizer, probably dating back to the 1930s. It may also serve as a manual tool for preparing cube steaks, effectively breaking down tough meat fibers to enhance tenderness. I recently moved into my new apartment, and the previous owner, an elderly gentleman approximately 70 years old, left behind an unusual glass object. It appears to be quite dusty, suggesting it hasn't been used for some time. The item stands about 7 inches tall, is made of glass, and contains an unknown orange liquid. It cannot be opened without breaking. I have held it in my hand for over 10 minutes to observe any reactions, but there were none. Over the past few months, the liquid has remained unchanged, and shaking the object also yields no results. Unfortunately, I have been unable to contact the previous owner. I have searched for terms such as old glass liquid containers, vintage glass liquid decorations, and glass ornaments filled with liquid, but have not found any relevant information. Any idea what it could be? It's a Millinger harmonic transformator. The warning is to be careful handling the piece and wear protective gloves and glasses BC. It would give you severe burns if the liquid spilled onto your hand. What is this weird half truck, and why is it pushing a flatbed trailer? Is there any sort of advantage of pushing rather than pulling it? Searching up half truck only brings up photo results of old military half tracks, and half truck pushing trailer isn't much help either. Is there a specific name for this type of truck? Are there any advantages with how it's set up, with the front wheels being close to the pivot point? I've only seen one other truck like this that's been parked nearby a seaport, and that didn't have anything on its trailer. I'm baffled, and Google isn't helping me out here. Any idea what this is made for? Float plane mover. Moving and towing aircraft happens this way, to be able to see your load and move it so it doesn't jackknife. So even though this is for a float plane, most tugs on airports work the same way. Have you ever backed a boat trailer into water? Because this would solve most of the problems a lot of people have. No jackknifing, no straining the neck, and the important parts of the truck stay dry. Think of this as the specialized truck that pushes your average passenger jet back from the terminal. I found a peculiar purple plastic object featuring a suction cup on its base. It measures 8 centimeters in height and 8 centimeters in width at its widest point. I came across this item in a bag of assorted items, which contained no other objects related to it. The remaining contents were primarily jewelry and home decor. I am uncertain about the purpose of this object. Any idea what it could be? It's a massager. Myofascial release, trigger point therapy, basically putting a lot of pressure on a specific area for muscle tension release. I found an unusual glass sphere, suspended by screws within a metal frame. The object stands approximately 25 centimeters tall, with the glass sphere measuring around 18 to 20 centimeters in diameter. Although the frame appears gold in the photograph, it is actually more of a bronze hue. The glass sphere is rotatable and seems to be removable from the metal structure, provided the appropriate tools are utilized. Anyone know what this is? It is a Campbell-Stokes sunshine recorder. You place a strip of card into one set of grooves in the piece that curves behind the sphere, point the opposite side of the sphere towards the equator, and the sphere will focus the sunlight to burn a track on the card. The card has hours marked, and more the card is burnt, the brighter the sunlight was. It was invented by John Francis Campbell in 1853 and modified in 1879 by Sir George Gabriel Stokes. The original design by Campbell consisted of large ball lens set into a wooden bowl with the sun burning a trace on the bowl. Stokes's refinement was to make the housing out of metal and to have a card holder set behind the sphere. This basic unit is still in use today with very little change. It is widely used outside the United States. The Marvin Sunshine Recorder is generally the instrument used by the U.S. National Weather Service. I found rusted metal knobs buried in the ground in Edinburgh. Each knob measures approximately 0.5 inches in diameter, while each chain link is about 6 inches in length. The metal knobs are affixed to plates that appear to be components of what resembles links in an oversized bicycle chain, extending down into the earth. Additionally, there are 2 parallel tracks that align with the natural contours of the land. Any ideas what this thing is? It's antique tractor or bulldozer tracks. Knobs could be for rubber pads. I bought a house and I found an object hanging approximately 7 feet high in the shop. It is made of white, milky glass and has a diameter of about 7 inches. There is no electrical connection to it. Appears that it was made to hang, but for what? Any ideas? It's an antique smoke bell, suspended over a light fixture with an open flame to prevent the smoke from staining the ceiling.